directors are welcome.
We're late.
Like information about the Tubers ARC, you can write to us at P.O. Box 225, Green Oak, PA, zip code 15047. We're also on the internet, the World Wide Web at www.trarc.net. Radio Club meetings are held on the third Tuesday of every month, except August and December, starting at 7 p.m. at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall, 409 Oxford Avenue in Elizabeth, PA. Open and separate check-ins in emergency or priority traffic at this time. Does anyone have listings of Sidon Keys and a radio amateur who recently passed away? Please, when checking into this net, give your call sign slowly and phonetically. I mean, spell it out. Spell your call sign out. Let me know if you have any announcements or comments on that. At this time, the officers of the Tubers ARC wish to check into the Tubers.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, Bob and Elizabeth Township. Evening Chuck, evening to the net, no traffic. W3OC. Kilo Bravo 3, Uniform Whiskey Charlie, Stephen Boston. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone else on the net. No other comments. W3OC. This is Whiskey, Uniform 3 Uniform, Kurt and Elizabeth, no traffic. W3OC. Please recognize Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey Papa, Bill Jefferson Hills. Good evening to all. No traffic.
Okay, thank you. That time I got Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, Kilo Bravo 3 Uniform Whiskey Charlie, Whiskey Uniform 3 Uniform, and Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey Papa, and the other members of the Two Rivers ARC Board of Directors wishing to check in.
W3OC, please copy Alpha Alpha 3 Oscar Zulu, John and McKeesport. There's no further comments. Say good evening to the net control and good evening to the net. That's all I have this evening. No comments.
Okay, Roger. Okay, thank you. I got Alpha Alpha 3 Oscar Zulu. Any persons operating mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County for tours?
Right, that's me.
W3OC.
Hold on, let me stop.
Here's Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Dan out here in Beaver County. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. W3OC. November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel Portable. Zulu Charlie Hotel Portable. Get there, W3OC W3PT Portable Andy West Mifflin.
W3OC. Fail.
Alpha 3, Bravo, Oscar, Juliet, 10 Squirrel Hill Portable. Good evening, you, Chuck. Good evening, Matt. No traffic.
W3OC.
W3OC.
You're kidding me.
Recognize November 3, Tango Alpha Uniform, Norm and Ben Township, Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on the net.
W3OC. You're fucking kidding me.
This is November 3, Papa Sirius, Chuck, and Jefferson Mobile. Hello, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
W3OC. Please recognize Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie alongside Kilo Charlie 3 Papa Delta Alpha, Antonio and Hugo in Pittsburgh. Good evening to you, Chuck, and everyone on the net. I have no traffic, and neither does my dad. Over.
W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo Oscar X-Ray Hotel Bill, Hancock County,
All right.
Virginia.
We're good.
Alpha Charlie 0 Kilo Kilo O'Hara Township with a question. Okay, 1 second here. I got a bunch that time. Okay, Okay, I got Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel Portable, Whiskey America 3 Papa Bravo Delta Portable, Whiskey America 3 Bravo Oscar Japan Portable, November 3 Tango Alpha Uniform, November 3 Papa Sierra Uniform Mobile, let's see, I can't, WA Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie, Kilo Charlie 3 Papa Delta Alpha, Kilo Bravo 3 Oscar X-Ray Hotel, and Alpha Charlie 0 Kilo Kilo. Alpha Charlie 0 Kilo Kilo, what's your question?
Yeah, I'm looking for someone who really knows how to enable the color scheme for FTA. Over.
Like you want how to enable FTA?
No, the color scheme. The color bars.
I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. You mean the color bars on FT8 on the screen?
Yeah. For that, so I know who, if I work the double, if I work the guy or not, and then some.
I'm really have a good place to tell you, except please look at the manual for WSJTX. There'll be a description in there of what the colors mean and all that stuff. WSJTX is a user manual.
Yeah, I know that. I know what the colors mean and everything else, but so I can see them on the computer.
I don't know what to tell you about that.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, all right, let me continue with check-ins here. Anybody else wishing to check in? It's mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County.
Net control. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3, Yankee Golf Lima, portable, Bruce in Fayette County.
Okay, Kilo Alpha 3, Yankee Golf Lima, portable. Okay, now we'll open up for general check-ins. Anyone else has a check-in like this? Call now.
Sir, please recognize Whiskey 3, Delta Tango Papa, Dalton Clark. Hello, Chuck. Everybody on the net? No traffic.
See? I know what he says.
Net control. Please copy Kilo 3, Uniform Indian Papa, K3 UIP, CJ, Westmoreland County. Good evening to all. W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Kilo Bravo Hotel. Very good, Councilor Shannon. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. I have no traffic. W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Sierra Papa, Jimmy Carnegie. W3OC. This is W3 Sierra, Yankee Radio. Righto. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. No comments.
Thank you. We got Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa, Kilo 3 Uniform Whiskey India Papa, Kilo Bravo 3 Kilo Bravo Hotel, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa, and Whiskey 3 Sierra Yankee Radio. Anybody else? And I heard. Alrighty, okay. We'll take a standby at this time. Thank you all for taking the time to check in this evening. I'm kind of a little under the weather myself, so my voice may sound a little weird tonight. Well, we're plugging along here, so we'll try to get through the net here. I do have some announcements, and of course, Newsline teed up on the computer to play here in a couple of minutes. Okay, some activities of the Two Rivers Club. We have three total nets each week, one of which is this one. The other two are on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. on the it's called the Gap Net. It's on the link 147.12 and 442.250 megahertz repeaters. And Thursday night we have a TRARC net on 10 meters on frequency 28.450 megahertz. That starts at 8 o'clock. We also have a Two Rivers ARC Hampton X breakfast that's held on the second Saturday of every month at Dice Cornerstone Diner, 680 Long Run Road in McKeesport, PA. And of course, our club meeting is coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department at 409 Oxford Avenue up there in Elizabeth, PA. Starts at 7 o'clock. We have a guest speaker scheduled for the meeting. He is Otto Schellen, November Oscar 3 uniform. He's scheduled to talk on the technical operations at WPXI at television. Get a chance, you can come out for that. Meeting starts at 7. Yeah, our next exam session is in December 14th at 6:30 p.m. at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department, again at 409 Oxford Avenue, Elizabeth. Okay, let's see if some of the other things that are coming up that might be of interest. November 16th, that's a club meeting tomorrow night. The 19th through the 21st is the ARL sweepstakes on the HF band. That's a single sideband mode operation. That's next weekend, 19th through the 21st. At the end of the month, 26th and 27th, is the CQ Worldwide DX Contest CW mode. That's very, very active on the HF band. December 2nd through the 4th is the ARL 160-meter contest on 160-meter band. This was just announced last week by email. December 3rd and 4th is Skywarn Recognition Day. Starts at 8 p.m. on Friday and runs for 24 hours to 8 p.m. on Friday through Saturday. They're looking for net control stations who would like to operate as a station Whiskey X-Ray 3 Popping India Tango. If anybody's interested in operating that, to contact Eddie, who's the Fayette County Skywarn operator or coordinator. You can reach Eddie at his email address is fayette@wpa-arl.org. On the 4th, also on the same day on the 4th, Mercer County Club has their ham cram. And they're going to have testing at 5:30 p.m. in West Middlesex. Register online at www.w3lif.org, www.w3lif.org, or on their Facebook page. On December 10th and 11th, the ARL 10-meter contest. And of course, I mentioned the exam session, December 14th. That's kind of what I got on the calendar. It's coming up, then. Speech running May 1st. All right. Well, let me flip the switch. Let's see what Newsline's got tonight.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2298 with a release date of Friday, November 12th, 2021, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hams in Japan homebrew their own virtual ham fest, a popular digital amateur TV magazine host publication, and get ready for Hamvention 2022. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2298 comes your way right now. From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent all-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kinford, N8WB. We begin this week with breaking news. Dayton Hamvention 2022 is not just going to be a premier hamfest, but a reunion as organizers prepare for the first gathering in 2 years of hams at the Xenia Fairground and Expo Center in Ohio. Hamvention's General Chairman Rick Allnut, WSHG, told Newsline in a phone interview that committees have been meeting and volunteers are committed to making up the time lost to pandemic cancellations. Hamvention will be happening on Friday, May 20th through Sunday, May 22nd, with an international reception scheduled on Thursday, May 19th. Rick said the registration site is already taking bookings from vendors and inside exhibitors, and individual visitors can already buy their tickets. All details are available on the hamvention.org website. Rick said, quote, "Tickets are all printed and ready to go," end quote. Hams have always believed that if you really want something, sometimes it's better to build it yourself. Nowhere is that more evident lately than in Japan, where radio operators were disappointed once again this year by cancellation of that nation's major radio event. Grain Camp, BK4BB, tells us more.
Never mind that the Tokyo Ham Fair was cancelled again this year by the Japan Amateur Radio League because of COVID-19 precautions. The virtual Hamfest of 2021 has taken its place thanks to the creativity of a group of independent, dedicated radio amateurs. Scheduled speakers included Shiro Saki, JH4PHW, explaining the best practices for using EQSL, and Yuki Shimizu Ri, JO2ASQ, explaining amateur satellite communications. One of the biggest topics on the agenda was the resurgence of CW, a true homebrew project built on the Zoom platform. The November 13 Hamfest was designed with a main stage for seminars and live presentations. Other features included booths and a spacewalk eyeball QSOs. The organising committee was headed by Taka 7K1BIV, who said that, like all major ham radio events, an on-the-air component was also a big part of the plan. As a social experiment, an international FTA QSO party was to take place on 40 metres in parallel to the virtual event. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp, BK4BB.
The Worldwide Flora and Fauna Program has welcomed S5FF Slovenia, and hams there are eager to share the excitement. Ed Duran, DD5LP, brings us up to date. Radio operators in Slovenia held a quiet but well-earned celebration during the first full weekend in November as they marked their nation's arrival as a registered region in the Worldwide Flora and Fauna Program. It was the culmination of 2 months of intense effort by a team of hams including Mike Gregory, S55GX, who said the team members are all experienced SOTA, IOTA, and World Castles Award activators. Mike, who has been a ham since 1995, told Newsline that he realised this past summer that Slovenia needed to organise and become part of the awards programme, which would require adding a national log manager and coordinators. WWFF Vice Chairman Manfred Meyer, DF6EX, and Member Administrator Luke Vartashut, ON4BB, encouraged the Slovenian team's efforts. Mike, who served as coordinator, told Newsline that the team pulled all the essential ingredients together: a web page, an S5 logo, and the definition of all the new activation areas. Mike said there are now 191 such sites, and the numbers are growing. Some of the possibilities are growing too. Mike hopes Slovenia's participation will encourage more portable operations and even boost amateur radio tourism from abroad. He told Newsline, quote, "Everyone can make nature their shack," end quote. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP. If you're still waiting for your QSL cars from the 3 Indianapolis Motor Speedway special events, they're on their way. Jack Parker, W8ISH, gives us a look behind the scenes of the massive mailing that's been going on.
That's the sound of another self-addressed stamped QSL envelope being opened for processing. Members of the W9IMS Special Event Station gathered to open, separate, and then fill in and mail out thousands of QSL cards following a summer of racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is what we call our monster card party. We have a few others that we do, and then they trickle in all year long. Bill Kennedy, WY9T, coordinates the special event stations and the monster chore, stuffing and returning thousands of QSL cards each fall. A behind-the-scenes look at this QSL process found it takes dozens of W9IMS members to get the job done. We have a big following who want to work with us every year, and they make a big effort to actually, get all 3 races. W9IMS is the official special event station for 3 of the IMS races. They operate 24/7 for a week prior to the Grand Prix and the Indianapolis 500-mile race in May. In August, they again fire up the radios for the Brickyard 200 race. A custom-designed QSL card is produced for each race. Those stations who log all 3 race events receive a special certificate as well. This is the 18th year for the W9IMS Special Event Station. Bill says the summertime operation often reflects the solar cycles. This year's total contacts fell just short of the 18,000 recorded contacts a few years ago. As the sun cycle fell, so did the total contacts.
You can follow our total cars just by the solar cycle. As the cycle came down, so did our queues, and as the cycle goes back up, the queues are going back up. Bill says this crew has become very proficient in not only logging contacts, but in filling out the QSL cards and certificates after the checkered flag falls on the last race of the season. And that's a lot of contracts, and it's a lot of cards to do at the end of the year. For Amateur Radio Newsline, this is Jack Parker, W8ISH. The Norwegian Radio Relay League, Norway's national amateur radio organization, is working with a research institute there to help introduce an entry-level amateur radio category that would become available to operators as young as 12 or 13. Operators would be permitted a maximum transmitting power of 10 watts. The goal is to encourage the newest amateurs to build their own simple transmitters and receivers and spur interest in technology and science to complement their schoolwork. NRRL is working to move this certificate forward with funds provided for the study by the Norwegian Research Council. Norway presently has only one class of radio operators. With the CQWWSSB contest over, no doubt you have more than a few contest call signs in your log. How many of them are among the newest from Australia? Let's hear more from Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
The long-awaited 2x1 VK contest call signs got their first official one on the air during the big CQ Worldwide SSB contest in late October. The Wireless Institute of Australia reports that assignments of the calls by the Australian Maritime College came just in time for the global competition. In fact, 3 of the WIA's own directors were assigned the calls for use in the competition. Some reports say that many amateurs who heard the new contest calls were at first confused by the unusual single-letter suffixes, but everything ultimately ran smoothly. If you have thoughts you'd like to share about Australia's new contest call signs, the WIA is eager to hear your comments. Send them on to National Office at wia.org.au. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on Bolton stations around the world, including the K9 DEW repeater in Warsaw, Indiana, on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m.
W306.
The late American actress Hedy Lamarr is apparently still a big star as far as the world's amateur radio operators are concerned. The 6th annual Hedy Lamarr Day Net N9H drew 190 check-ins from around the world. The special event was held on November 9th on Echolink on what would have been the actress's 107th birthday. Organizer John Durike, W2JLD, called it the most successful Hedy Lamarr event to date. Hedy Lamarr was being celebrated for her on-screen talent, but most especially for her role as co-inventor of a frequency-hopping system that prevented jamming of radio signals to torpedoes and now forms an important part of today's cell phone and Wi-Fi networks. The digital amateur TV magazine known as CQDA-TV has published its final issue. Jerry Goodrich, KF5KRN, has that story.
In a publishing lifetime that lasted for 8 years with 100 issues, the amateur television magazine CQDA-TV filled a gap left by the demise of 2 earlier ATV magazines and had been widely read among enthusiasts. That era has ended with the publication of its latest and last issue released in October. The production team, Trevor Brown, G8CJF, writes in this 100th issue, quote, "All good things must come to an end, and CQDA-TV is no exception," end quote. The digital-only publication reports that it received more than 500,000 downloads during its lifetime and was welcomed by readers who had lost Der TV Amateur, published in Germany, and Repeater, published in the Netherlands. CQDA-TV credits Ian Pawson, G0FCT, who introduced the magazine in 2013 as a digital publication inserted its editor. The magazine, which also became available as a PDF edition, is making all of its 100 issues available for download. They can be obtained by visiting the link that appears in the text version of this week's newscast script on our website, arnewsline.org. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jerry Goodrich, KF5KRN.
Portable radio enthusiasts are thrilled with the news that Parks on the Air has added 2 new countries. Here's Vance Martin, N3BEM, with the latest.
In Parks on the Air news. In October, we welcomed Ireland and India to Parks on the Air. So please join me in saying Gia Hoich and Namaste to our newest POTA friends. Also in POTA news, October was another record-setting month with an all-time high for both number of activators and number of QSOs, with 1,630 activators making a combined 329,019 QSOs. And in our last item of POTA news, POTA is excited to officially announce that for our 2022 Summer Plaque event, we will be adding several plaques for DX QSOs. There will be up to 6 DX plaques available pending sponsorship, 1 each for most QSOs made as an activator outside of the continental United States for IARU regions 1, 2, and 3, and 1 each for hunters that make the most QSOs with activators in those same regions. If you or your organization is interested in sponsoring one of these new DX plaques in 2022, please send an email to n3vem@parksontheair.com for details. This is November 3, Victor Echo Mike with your month-ending October 2021 Parks on the Air update. Be sure to visit parksontheair.com for more information about the program and POTA.app for spotting, park information, leaderboards, and more.
In the world of DX, be listening for special event call signs ON75AF, ON75BAF, and ON75BFS from Belgium. These call signs are helping amateurs in the Belgian Air Force Amateur Radio Association mark the Air Force's 75th anniversary. Be listening through the end of the year on HF, VHF, and UHF, where operators will be using CW, SSB, and the digital modes. In Rwanda, members of the Holy Land DX group will be using the call sign NX4X starting on the 24th of November and running through the 1st of December. Listen for them on 160 meters through 10 meters, where they will be using CW, SSB, RIDI, and FT8. They will also be in the CQ WWDX CW contest on November 27th and 28th. Send QSLs to Ruben 4Z5FI. Ferdy, HB9 DSP, becomes a first-time DXpeditioner with the call sign 5Z4/HB9 DSP when he operates from Kenya between December 2nd and the 16th. Listen for Ferdy on 20, 15, and 10 meters, where he will be using mainly SSB with some FT8. Send QSL to his home call sign direct by the Bureau or LOTW. Learning about technology isn't always what it seems. As a group of girls in England recently found out, technology can lead to something wonderfully personal called friendship. Jeremy Booth, G4NJH, picks up the story from here.
The 11 and 12-year-old girls are called the STEAMettes, a name that's a nod to their shared interest in science, technology, engineering, art, and maths. For the past 4 years, the Kent County youngsters have been guided by John Hislop, G7OHO, a retired physics teacher and an ambassador in STEM learning. Most recently, John has taught them such basics as soldering and the coding of the microbit computer they were going to use to send CW that they'd learned. After Larry Olson, W9INE, saw a presentation by John and the STEAMettes at the QSO Today Ham Expo in August, Larry introduced them to Colorado teacher Ravi Davis, KF0FYL. Ravi has several new licensed hands in her 6th grade school who have also been coding microbits. Since the STEAMettes studied digital mobile radio in preparation for their foundation license, they put their knowledge to use in a transatlantic QSO on the 29th of October via DMR. The Colorado students used radios loaned to them by the Estes Valley Amateur Radio Club. Ravi told the local newspaper that this was the first DX contact for her students. They talked about their schools, their lives, and the differences in their respective communities. Suddenly, even with 7,600 kilometers between them, the students felt none of that distance at all. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Booth, G4NJH.
With thanks to the ARRL, CQ DATV Magazine, CQ Magazine, David BR, K7DB, Facebook, John Hislop, G7OHO, Manfred Meyer, DF6EX, Mike Gregorick, S55G, Ohio Pin DX, Parks on the Air, PHYS.org, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, News, shortwaveradio.de, TACA 7K1BIB, Wireless Institute of Australia, Worldwide Flora and Fauna, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. You can write to us at newsline@arnewsline.org. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. For now, with Karen E. Murray, KD2, GAT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2021, all rights reserved.
Good evening, 8:31 p.m.
W3OC Net Control for Tubers. That concludes this week's Newsline transmission. Okay, I don't have any more announcements or anything other than to remind Two Rivers members, anybody else that's interested, we have our radio company tomorrow night at 7 o'clock over there at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall. Starts at 7. And if we do it, besides the regular meeting, we have the guest speaker scheduled. Otto Schillen and other creators from Channel 11 TV scheduled to speak at our company. So hopefully maybe you can make it out here for that. With that, we'll take some late check-ins. If no one like check-in, that's all on.
W3OC.
W3OC, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, November Foxtrot, Mike Scott Patrick. Give it to Chuck and everyone on the net. Listen.
W3OC. This is KB3LMC, Kilo Bravo 3, Lima November. Charlie, Lenny here in the mobile. No traffic. Good evening, everybody. W3OC. This is November 3, Tango Alpha Yankee, Jeff in North Marcellus. Good evening to you, Chuck. We have a net this evening. No further comments.
Okay, thank you. I got Kilo Charlie 3, November Fox, Kilo Bravo 3, Lima, November Charlie Mobile, and November 3 Tango Alpha Yankee. Anybody else? All right. Okay, thank you all. Thanks for taking the time to check in with this evening. I hope everybody's doing okay. Kind of under the weather a little bit. It's that seasonal crap, I guess. It doesn't work, but I just say I got 25 check-ins. I'd like to thank everybody that checked with us this evening. Everybody have a good week. It's W3OC, also the W3ON. Good night.